Well, casting was kind of hard because we didn't really have a good set in stone way of casting it. It was just who was the best at improving and who can think on their feet well.
And then when it came time to cast definite parts and to see who would be in what bits, that's when things got tricky.
Everybody had their own idea of how it was going to go, and the board had their idea of how it was going to go, and it kind of didn't go together.
Chelsea calls it the coup de board.
The biggest problem is something that I like to call the coup de board.
Coup de board, it's Latin for hit them with rocks.
There was a bit of a rebellion at the beginning where the drama board actually picked out the characters of the play, and the rest of the people were kind of mad about their decisions on who to cast different parts, but it all worked out great. Every part was big. Everyone got to say something on stage, and every one of the characters is memorable in some way.
The big thing that they didn't realize is that they basically could pick any part that they wanted as long as it came as a good skit, and that they told us how it was going to go. They could have just as much stage time as one of the main characters.
There was a lot of doubt at about maybe 3 o'clock in the morning when we did our first run-through. The problem was that everyone wrote their scripts themselves. Like, they didn't collaborate and make one. They wrote out their scenes, and then we had to put it together. But you see, everyone else didn't see what came next, so we're stumbling through.
We had gathered everyone's little skit that they had, and they were on separate sheets of paper, so we had put them in the order that they needed to go into, and me and Ben Parker and Melissa Schatz at 4 o'clock in the morning ventured out into the dark school and... What?
No, she left me behind. I went to go get
Jordan would go to the library.
I went to get her Pop-Tarts and she left me behind.
As Jordan went to go get me Pop-Tarts, we ventured out into the dark school to the library, which was incredibly freaky. It took us about a half an hour to copy, make 25 copies of, actually 26 copies of the script that was like 50 pages.
It was hard for everybody to get like their lines down and get cues when people were supposed to come in, when certain acts were going to start to, when different acts were going to intersect and take over in different parts.
You see the same things go 100 times. People lose their energy.
And plus it was 4 o'clock in the morning. You know it's not going to work at 4 o'clock in the morning. You're just dead tired.
We were still getting the set together, and there was quite a few people like all sleeping.
We didn't have time for sleep. There was no time for sleep.
I actually slept on the ground in the auditorium lobby in a sleeping bag, and I didn't get the best sleep. But there was some people that got like maybe 5 hours of sleep, the ones who didn't, do much or anything.
I slept upstairs while they did the set.
Some people got sick from lack of sleep, but the adrenaline keeps you going.
And it was just kind of like, is this really going to work? Are we going to go out there and, how many ever hours and actually be able to put on a good show?
Oh man, there's quite a few highlighted parts. Some parts that you could have dealt without, but what do you want? We wrote it in 24 hours.
Yeah, I got some favorite parts. I probably have to watch it just to tell you which they were.
Favorite parts? Let's see. Probably, I like Tim's soup thing, just because he did it so dry and it worked.
Oh goodness, my favorite scene probably was when Tim was pulling ties out of his soup, because that was hilarious and he acted so funny in that scene.
Actually, sir, that is the soup of the day. You just got lucky.
I just found a bonnet in my soup, and I don't...
A bonnet? You're so lucky. Oh, what else? Ooh.
Why? Why would that be in there? Why?
Surprise!
Surprise!
You're the winner today.
Wow,
A tie!
It's a tie. There's
$1,000 tie.
Wow, and another one, and they just keep coming. Wow, what?
He ordered the soup of the day.
Yes, soup of the day.
Wow. Does this happen to everybody?
Actually, you're the winner.
I'm the winner, yay! All these ties. Do you need a tie? Because I got plenty here.
Actually, sir, soup's on the house today because you won the special prize of boxers, a bonnet, socks, and 25 ties.
Oh, well, that's great. I'll just leave now.
Okay, on the house.
Yeah, might we let the Red Cross know that we're running a soup kitchen now?